Well, hello and welcome back to Tycoon Terminal. I'm Steve, and we are back in Leekington Lakes. The go-karts are looking absolutely fantastic. I've done a little bit of work to them. Just added a cool little go-karts entrance with a sign. This kind of inspired me. The car coming out the wall from the old Italian job restaurant that used to be at Pleasure Beach with the Mini. I just thought that'd be quite cool. Added a little, or called it the snack shack, and again it's just added onto this garage-like building, which is kind of designed to look like where they maintain all the cars. And I added a little podium, so there's a little photo opportunity when you win the race. You can come and stand here, and yeah, I just thought it'd be a nice little addition. So I do want to do something with this blank area here. I think we should do something today with that, whether if it's just a plaza or maybe even adding just a singular shop there. I think it would be worth doing. We've got plenty of research points, so we can research some more coasters. But I know in the comments it was mentioned a Vekoma coaster would be quite good, which I agree with. I do think a Vekoma coaster would be absolutely fantastic. I don't know if it's quite what I'd want right now. I don't know where to put it at the moment, because like even though we're gonna have to like chop down some of these trees, I feel like this area is a bit too compact to fit in a looping coaster. However, I do think we need to put in some flat rides, and another person that did very kindly shout out that a carousel would and dodgems would be good. Now I don't think we have unlocked the dodgems yet, but a carousel definitely would fit this area and the kind of demographic I'm going for at this moment in time. So I'm going to put in a carousel and some kind of plaza there, and potentially we'll see where the research takes us. Maybe see if we can have a look and get a smaller roller coaster that might fit in to this area. So let's jump in then. Flat rides, carousels. We're going to the custom, and this is actually that probably bore a lot of people now, but I think this is based on like a Bertazon carousel. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It's an Italian design of carousel. Where do you want this, Steve? Do you want this? I feel like somewhere around here would be quite good. I have a feeling it's going to get very popular, so all the rides seem to be getting extremely popular, so we'll pop it there and have the queue round the back with the exit just around the front there. Yeah, so it's a Bertazon carousel is often found at many theme parks. I know Alton Towers have one in Walliams, the World David Walliams. There is that carousel there. That's a Bertazon carousel. The Big Fort Park used to have one as well, but they took it out for Darren Brown. Anywho, you are rambling on again and not building very much. Yeah, I do tend to do that. I'll just kind of talk about. I do love talking about rides, so there's my. It's something I am quite passionate about, is rides and roller coasters and everything. So there we go. Put that on there and there. I do think I might have to actually. Can I get to double back? I don't know if this will work or not. I had a feeling that it's going to try and glitch out a little bit. Oh no, it's... not too bad. I just want a little bit more of a queue line. I don't really want the pathway to be completely flooded, which is something that I have been suffering with in this game a lot when you build a new ride and everyone wants to go to it. It can just become a little bit chaotic. So I'm going to leave that there for the reason of this pathway is already quite congested, so I think we're going to need to make the pathway just a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to get the texture of that pathway there use the stamp tool just to expand the pathway. Do I want to... I think we do want to put that there, but then use this draw tool, which can go horrifically wrong whenever I seem to use it. Come on. This might take a few attempts. No, that's not going to do it. Sometimes you do just have to kind of... Let's do a... You can make it into a line. That might make things a little bit easier for us. Okay. That did make things a little bit easier, so it's just making this pathway just that little bit bigger. And you can have the curve on and it will give you quite nice curved corners. And what you can do when you're done, just kind of teardrop it like that, and it just gives you that little bit of a curve there. Makes it look a little bit less harsh. It's like there, just yeah, it's just not having it, so we'll leave that as it is for now. I thought I'll put that back onto the street. So put that there and down here. I knew you were gonna do that. Oh, why? Oh, what's it done that for? Let's try. Oh, let's do that. Is it this bench that's causing it to misbehave a little bit? It could be. Come on. Just... Oh dear. Right, let's just go back. It's a little bit annoying because like when you go into the path tool, like, I just want to delete a tiny bit and then it's like you will delete the whole thing. So if we go to the stamp tool now, hopefully it will... I don't really want to take up this. Don't mind that so much, that's not too bad. Doesn't quite... Okay, yeah, we can live with that. So the pathway's a little bit wider now, so we've got a little bit more space for if you want to spread out a bit. They still seem to walk, like, together as well, like... What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that even though they've got all this space, they'll still like bunch together, which is not ideal really. So we've got our carousel here. I'll just open that up and we'll look. Is this a part of a zone, a staff zone? Because if it isn't, it needs to be. Okay, so wooden coaster. To be fair, we'll just take that that zone there, and it could become a part of the wooden coaster zone now. I don't think that's too far. I think the mechanics will be able to get to that, to maintain that pretty easily. There's already plenty of people going into the carousel, so that's a bonus. And right then, so you said you wanted to put something in here. What are you going to put in? What are you thinking? I'm thinking balloons. Have we not got it? I thought we... Oh, we must have it. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to build a pretty basic shop here. Kind of like a bit of an outpost, really. It's not really with anything else as such. What can we put on as the roof? Just I quite like the stamp tool just to get started when you're building shops and things. It's quite a good starter point. Probably gonna want to curve this. And I didn't mean to do that. Start again. Come on. I just had a bit of difficulty with the tool kind of aligning up with where I want it to go. So that's not too bad. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And here, I did the same, but then when I got it to where I wanted it and clicked it, it kind of reverted, which was a little bit annoying. There we go. I think a planter in the middle here would go well, whether it is just a couple in the ground like that with a tree. Hopefully it's not not too much. That's too big. There's no way that a tree like that would... That might be okay. Probably just a little bit too low down. Yeah, so we've got like the to be fair, I didn't think that people would be wanting to go all the way down there just to get the balloons, but they seem to be, so I'm quite happy with that. Some greenery I can put around there to just kind of make it look a little bit less. I think if you're on the coaster, it might look a little bit odd going around there, but I think that kind of covers it up quite nicely. So we've got our like a balloon stall now. I don't think we've put in many gift type shops, so hopefully they'll be quite popular and we'll start seeing people with balloons going around the park. That's quite nice. That Carousel, very busy, like I thought it was going to be. Yeah, so that's a good start to this area anyway. What other rides can we put in? Let's have a let's research something else. Let's see what else we can put in. That's the park rating. I don't want to go on that. I'm thinking flat rides. So I think tower flat rides is definitely a good one to go for. Oh, there's the Dodgems. And Ferris wheels. I think they're the kind of things we're probably going to want at the moment in this area. So what flat rides we've got this tower ride. I do like tower rides, but I don't know if it's quite what we want now. I already had this unlocked, but the chair swing ride is always a good staple attraction to put in. There is this little Ferris wheel. We have got the bigger Ferris wheel now, which is quite nice. I feel like it wants to be somewhere a little bit more scenic though. I think it would benefit being a little bit more central into the park, so maybe not. I'm putting a lot of these old classic rides in. Dodgems. Dodgems are a good shout. I would like to get some Dodgems in. I don't think they're going to fit in there though. It is very close. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not Dodgems. I do think the chair swing will fit in quite nicely. It's going to have to go right over here by the pathway though. And the reason is that those chairs are going to swing out. So if we test that, you'll see they'll get quite close to the roller coaster and we need to keep that clearance there. I have put these in before and ended up having to basically alter buildings. I've done some really nice viewing around them before and realised that I had to kind of cut into the buildings around it. So I actually used to operate one of these. This is a better model, but the one that I used to operate was the Toadstool at Towers, and it was a Sierra wave swinger, and it actually had a mechanical foot brake on it. So when that's quite good. I'm glad that connected. So when the ride ended, like you didn't choose the cycle time; it was just set. Like it'd do its cycle, it'd do its thing, and then come to an end. And it would just come down automatically at full speed. And it was up to you to kind of like brake it. Just like in a car, there's like a brake pedal in the operator's cabin, and you had to like slow it down. And if you didn't slow it down, then that would be a bad time. Like I'm very fortunate; I never had that happen to me. I know other people did bring it down a little bit too fast on some occasions. You couldn't really miss it, like when it was going to come down, because it used to make a really loud noise when it would start to lower down to the ground. I was going to take that cue out and put it straight. So it used to it was almost like a groaning sound it used to make. And I do remember once we had a power cut on it, and it had a pin essentially on the operator keys, and it was to operate the hydraulic dump valve, and you'd have to push it in, and it'd just bring the chairs down slowly to ground level. I do need to think of these colours for these. I never really know what to colour them, because the colours just don't seem quite bright enough, if that's... I don't know, I just think this blue just looks really corporate. I don't know, it just doesn't look like what you'd see on an attraction, I don't think. What can we... We've got yellow. Like, yellow is not too bad. Orange, something sunny. Then that doesn't really... I don't know if that looks good or not. I generally don't know. I don't know if I like it, but it's open anyway, so hopefully we'll get a bit of a boost of people coming to see it. So got the 2 attractions there. Splendid. So what I might do now is just put in some kind of wall. I might keep the same style wall as what we've got over here, to be honest. That looks like it might do the trick. Actually, where do I want this wall to go? I don't know if I do want the wall now. I feel like I'm just going to make myself a load of work. What planters do we have? Or is everyone leaving? Or is everyone just trying to get in the queue for this amazing attraction? I don't know if that's quite what I want. Like, I do want a wall, but I just don't know if I want like a... This might be okay. Oh no. Don't do that. It's like on a slant. Why has that happened? But I do want these lights though, so we'll put the lights in at least. I've actually really looked at this park at night yet, but I have been putting lighting around in most places. There are a few places where I've not quite put a light in. This tree is really tall. Really as tall as a roller coaster. Well, this should get a full load this time anyway. We should have brought that queue round on this side really, but yeah, well, I've done it now. I do think I am going to put in a wall just over here, but I'm sure you don't really want to see me just building walls, but it's only a small area, so I'm going to take the snapping off because I can't quite get it to the angle I'm looking for, but I just placed it anyway by accident then. That rotate that around just a little bit. There we go. Yep. And then there is a slight curve on this pathway, but I didn't think when I built it I'd put a curve in, and I thought I'd use the stamp tool for it, but maybe not. No, just kind of popping that in like that. Are you going all the way with it? You know what, might as well. There's a lot of red brick in this park so far. I do want to start doing a themed area soon. I'm kind of just keeping it kind of generic for the time being, but I think the park's kind of getting established enough to make a big investment. Some big new rides. Maybe get that looping roller coaster I'm kind of eager to build somewhere. It might be a completely different area of the park though. But I feel like this is a great start for a small theme park at least. I'm being a little bit finicky putting in these walls. At least if you want them to actually look good. Well, there's where you have to have a little bit of patience with it. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. I'm not going to make you watch me build walls all for the episode, but we're putting a couple of new rides. Like clearly the demographic enjoys, that the people who are coming to this park enjoy these type of rides. So the smaller rides seem to be doing relatively well. It'd be interesting to see if this little train ride's still doing. Yep, queue's full. I honestly didn't think that this little thing would do so well, but everyone seems to absolutely love it. So, I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. But yeah, the park is actually starting to look a bit more like a theme park. So what I'm probably going to do is jazz it up a bit like what I've done over here, and start eyeing up where the next big ride is going to go, or new area should I say. And I am looking over the horizon to this this patch of land over here, but we may have to do a few other things to make this work, because even though I'm going to start putting in a brand new area over here, we're probably going to need some kind of transportation system. So I do think a train would go down very well, building a train transportation system. I'm not sure quite where it's going to go. I think a station around here. I do think it's going to go on the inside of this pathway, rather than, I did kind of want it to cross over the pathway a little bit, but I do think it's going to have to stay in relatively in the middle. We have got a big patch of land. Oh no, we haven't. I thought we had a big patch of land there, borders there over the park. So we do have land here though. We can build on, and we have all this space over this way as well, which hasn't been used. So we've got quite a lot of space where we can add something in. So yeah, I think we're going to call it there for this one. I know it's not been that exciting this episode, but you've heard me ramble on about Sierra Wave Swingers. Semi-automatic operated Sierra Wave Swingers. That, by the way, they're not made like that anymore. If you have a modern park model, because the Toadstool Alton Towers was just a travelling version of this. It was just mounted to a trailer. It was quite old, to be fair, and new ones have an automatic brake, so they actually slow down when they come down. And to be fair, that was probably one of the biggest reasons why it did get removed, is they were wanting to put in an automatic brake onto it to modernise it with modern standards, and they did try it, I believe, but it just wouldn't work correctly. There was like a system in there. There was like another lever that was never used while I operated it anyway, and the intention of that was apparently to make it an automatic braking system, but it just didn't happen, so that was it, kind of gone. But yeah, they are quite fun rides. It's a shame there's not many around these days. They do still make them, so you can still buy these attractions. Maybe somewhere like Towers would consider getting one in the future, as they have just bought another top spin, so they might potentially go down the route of getting a wave swinger in the future. But anywho, I appreciate you watching and listening to me rambling on about wave swingers and carousels. I'll promise the next one will be a little more exciting. I think another coaster needs to go in, maybe some trains. Not quite sure. We built this amazing roller coaster in the first episode, and I haven't really built a coaster since. So I think we are due a roller coaster in the next one. So yeah, I think we're gonna start building a new themed area and a couple of new roller coasters and dark rides and new thrilling flat rides as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.